All right. Hey, look at that. We actually did it without being in mid-sentence in the middle of one of our conversations. And it's not because we were sitting around not talking to one another. That's for sure. Well, thanks, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Always nice to have you with us. Appreciate you joining us, whether you're live or after the fact. And you know what? Really would like to see some comments in the stream as we go along here. We are now into November. And by the way, to all of my American friends, happy Thanksgiving. Always a big fan of Thanksgiving here in Canada, which happened last month. But I got a little turkey showing on the bottom of the screen here for you guys. Hope everybody has a really great Thanksgiving.
There's a turkey.
Okay. What's that?
Listen, there it is. There's a turkey.
Yeah. There he is, huh? Hey, and we got M6JKW. He nails the first comment. We got Howdy from way down south.
He's been in the chat for a while.
Oh, yeah. No, he certainly has. He's been there for a few hours. Our regular guy, 519, please define way down south. I'm going to try to keep an eye. This we don't have a special guest. This particular
stuck with us
stream, but we do have you folks, and so I'm going to be paying very close attention. VE3PCP Rob was great enough to make the 3+ hour trip from his home to the park where I was doing CQ Worldwide single sideband. We got to set up one of his portable military style antennas. Ooh. There's a video going to be coming out on my channel next month, profiling that one. So Rob, thanks. And great to have you on board. And hey, there you go. Tim is special.
Well, we had another one of our little Twitter battles. So,
oh, did you?
Yeah.
Say it ain't so. What was that about?
I got to fix Big Mike here. Hold on.
Okay. What was Twitter battle? Do expound.
Nothing. We just talk shit.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay, good stuff. Let's let you know, guys. We had Dale W4OP on last month. Great conversation. A very interesting guy. Yeah. But we didn't get a chance really to spend much time talking. Metric time. Oh,
yeah, metric time. Because I told him, I tweeted that the live stream was on, 7 Central. The only time zone, really, right?
The center of the universe.
What's that time in metric, eh? You know what? Take your Geritol.
Wow.
We got Dean, Kilo Quebec 4 Alpha Delta Julia. I hope that's your call, Dean, because I just read it out as if it was. And thanks for coming on board. Let us know where you're from. Hey, let's go around the table a little bit here, guys. Let's see what people are up to. I actually want to start off with Tim because we're going to do it a little bit different this time around because Chris has got something really interesting to talk to us about. Tim, what's been going on in N9 SAB land? And by the way, I understand you were looking for the location for your next antenna farm somewhere in Texas.
Perhaps. Here's the thing, though. Texas is big.
Plenty of room for antennas.
No, I mean Texas is big. I mean, I did a lot of driving I've done a lot of driving in Texas before. My dad was from San Antonio, and after my mom died, he moved back down there. So I'm familiar with somewhat in that area, and it was a lot of driving. But that was a long time ago. I just got a fresh reminder of just how big Texas can be, and it's brown.
Okay, I want to put things in context here. How big is Texas?
Texas.
Put it for us who have never, for those of us who have never been
there. So I'm here, right? I'm 30 minutes from downtown Chicago, and so I can get from my doorstep to the on ramp on 94, going towards the city in 10 minutes, right? I'm on 94, and I can be downtown in 30 minutes from there, right? And everything in the world between here and there, anything I want. The entire world, it's all compressed right here. Right. It's like driving in LA, right? So, when I was in LA, you could drive from El Monte to Los Angeles and you would go through 10 cities and never know it, right? Because it all looks the same. It's all like one big giant strip mall.
Right.
But in Texas, when I drove from, let's say I drive from San Antonio. Well, we went to the red top or the round top or rock top or whatever that's called, the big flea market.
I'm going to take your word for it. I have no idea what you're
the
talking
world's biggest something or other, right? It's just a colossal waste of time, if you ask me. But whatever. I'm not that guy. But it was all day from there, which was surprisingly close to Houston. I found out when I pulled up a map, right?
about. Oh yeah.
Surprisingly close to Houston in Texas is like this far on the map. That's half my state, really.
Right.
And we drove all day and half the evening,
Yep.
to get to the west part of Texas where we were headed, and there was nothing there. I mean, we measured time in tanks of gas. It's just it's a trip. It really is.
It's a huge state.
Yeah, and a lot of it is they call that the type of country, just like a scrub kind of, and then you go into the mountains and you come back and it's kind of, there's a brown in there, and I'm used to a lot of green and a lot of asphalt.
Not down there, not in Texas.
So, no, it took some time to get used to, but I don't know. So the next place we're going to take a look at is either Kentucky or Maine.
Really?
Yeah, I've always kind of had a hankering for Maine, like seaside.
Oh,
Maine. We can have a chat. We better bring this back to radio. We're going to lose people, but that's the thing I love about the States, right? Living in Canada, I can move to some place that's cold, or I can move to some place that's cold. In the U.S., you've got all these different places you can go to, all these different geographies. It's absolutely fantastic. I just want to say hi to some people in the chat here.
So try driving from Toronto to Thunder Bay. Okay, so I've driven from Sault Ste. Marie to North Bay, and I remember a place called Sudbury that looked a lot like Texas.
Sudbury Saturday night. Sudbury Saturday night. You never had anything like that. So let me say this about that, because Rob chimed in. Yes, Toronto to Thunder Bay. When I went to Puckasaw National Park last month, I published my video of my trip up there last month. If I had gone in the different direction, if rather than going north, I had gone south, and I went from Puckasaw National Park, or from my home in southern Ontario, to Puckasaw, which is on the northeast corner of Lake Superior. If I had driven the same distance due south, by the way, Puckasaw is still in the province of Ontario where I live. If I had driven due south, I would have gotten into South Carolina. That's how big Ontario is. Yeah, and by the way, I was only 2/3 of the way through the province.
Going up and down, right?
Yeah. Well, sort of, you go up and around, actually, because Lake Huron, big old lake right there. You got to kind of go up and around it to get it. And that's on the road to Thunder Bay. Thunder Bay is another 4 hours from where I was. Okay, I want to say, before we get swept up in geography, because I could talk about that a long time, we got Scout 75, Shane. Wonderful to have you with us. How are you? Hope you're doing well, Shane.
Hey, that's a new name. That's a new name. He didn't used to be Scout 75 Portable Radio. It used to be just Scout 75.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's a shiny new look. AI5DD. Good evening to you, Rich. Hey, Ray, we got Rich back in the house.
Is he trying to tweak
every
the
time
algorithm?
I hear, what's that?
Do you think he's trying to tweak the algorithm there?
Maybe.
Maybe he is. I wouldn't be surprised.
Be nice to see what the results are.
Yeah, it would indeed. We got Rich. The stars at night are big and bright, deep. You know what? Pop culture guy that I am. You know what I think of when I hear that? Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Yeah.
All right. Who else we got here? Okay, so there we go. We're caught up in the comments. All right, let's get on with it. Tim, so you're looking for a new homestead, didn't really find something.
Yeah, well, see, Illinois is a wonderful place, right? Chicagoland. I grew up here. It's my home. I love it. It will always have a place in my heart. The problem is, though, we're looking to retire in the next 10 years or so. Me, my wife, my sister's kind of involved too. So we were all looking for a place to buy, like a compound, right? But it's got to be somewhere that's, semi quasi retirement friendly, because Illinois is not. So that's what's driving the search.
Okay, good stuff.
Plus, I want to get out of the heavily populated areas too.
I want to ask you this, because if I was to move, one of the things that I would be very interested in, and my wife wouldn't be interested in at all, is, okay, what kind of antenna can I put up there? Do you have any sort of consideration as you're looking for a new place in terms of, it'd be nice to have this so that I could put up the antenna I want?
Oh, but perhaps I wasn't clear when I say I wanted to kind of get away from people and get the whole thing. I'm talking acreage. Okay. There's, somewhere between 10 and 25 acres would be perfect.
Wow.
Kind of thing with there need to be a house and the ability to build another house, nearby or on the same, tract sort of with. So like me and Amy would live in a house, and then my sister, I could see her house like, down the hill or on the other thing or something like that. Antennas are what I really want are, well, in addition to space for antennas, is dark skies too, because I want to get back to, having a telescope and using it rather than, so it's got to be dark.
Okay.
So yeah, the antenna thing is kind of, and I want an outbuilding. I want a shop. I want a place that I can, I want power, and I want an outbuilding, and I want to be able to go somewhere where nobody else is, kind of like my shop now.
Yeah. But you're in the basement.
Right.
Yeah. Which is a controlled environment, but it's not the same as having acreage.
No. And we've got a pretty good size. Like I've got my 80-meter OCF up here. So, I've got enough space to put that up. Plus I've got another, it was a nice day yesterday. So I ran a 160-meter sloper. I've got one of those eBay slopers,
Yeah.
So I'm going to run that through the back. And then I had an end fed in the middle between those two, but my neighbor cut down his tree. The tree had a bit of a disease or something to it. So
the
wire that was hung in that tree came down.
Ooh,
so I'll figure something else out for that. I have a huge ginkgo in the back. He's probably 60 feet tall, but it's a little close to where I laid the sloper. So we'll see. We'll see.
Okay.
Take your radio north. Go North Haven Island, Maine. It's approximately 50 miles off the coast of Rockland, Maine. See, now they're talking.
Yeah.
I'd like a lighthouse too. I want to live in a lighthouse.
Oh, wouldn't that be something?
With me, though.
Yeah. So, okay, how's let's just check in on Aether Wave antennas. Any news on that front?
Oh, busy.
Good.
So if people want to buy stuff for Christmas, sooner is better than later.
Mm-hmm. What's the hot seller now?
Well, the Tech Prepper Edition NFED.
Okay.
People like that, and the 6-bander, the Philip Neidlinger Fleet 6-band low power.
That is a winner.
People like that too. Yeah.
That is an absolute winner. Hey, we got Mike in the house. N2MAK. Hey, Mike. Thanks for joining. All right.
Wow. The cool kids
back on over here. Okay. I'm now going to send it over to my friend Chris, Kilo 2 Charlie Juliet Bravo.
Oh, and I'm dog sitting, as I was mentioning before.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Talk about the dog sitting, please.
Hey. There he comes. He's a monster.
Is he?
Come on up. Come on up, say hi. Come on up, say hi. Come on. Now he doesn't want to.
Of course not.
Does he think he's a cat?
No, but he's got a lot of energy. He's an energetic dog.
Oh, it's nice to see a dog in your house again.
He can't be alone. He's one of those dogs who can't be alone. He's always got to be like right there.
Okay. All right. Hey, Dr. Kilo 2 Charlie Juliet Bravo. Do I see, I'm looking at the subscriber count there. I think I see a digit change out in front.
Yeah.
Congratulations. You're up to 6K.
We've seen some remarkable growth over the last couple of days.
But it wasn't all that like that before you published your last video. I think you were getting mighty close to that, weren't you?
I had just broken through 6,000. I think maybe the last time we were on. Maybe I don't know. Maybe.
Well, nicely done. Okay, so what's going on in Kilo 2 Charlie Juliet Bravo land?
Well, first of all, I saw Rich mention a Tempo 1, which is that radio is dear to my heart. In fact, it's sitting right over next to me here. That was the first sideband radio I ever owned. That I don't have the original one I owned. I actually bought this one on eBay, and it works, but it needs some help. So that's one of my in my copious spare time. I'll get around to working on that. But Yeah. Well, first of all, my ham radio stuff is I was on Tracy. You did your video on Secure Worldwide, and I operated Secure Worldwide and worked. I'm not a contester by any stretch of the imagination. I enjoy CQ Worldwide, always do it every year because I just like to see what maybe there's a new country on a band that I didn't have. And this year it didn't disappoint, actually. I wound up working Latvia and Lithuania on 10 and 15, which I didn't have, actually.
Nice.
St. Bart's Island down in, which is a relatively easy island to get, but it was just, usually on CQ Worldwide, you got to dig him out, and he was there. So. Yeah. Same thing. I think that that was on a band I didn't have it on, but the big one for me was I worked Kyrgyzstan, which is like it borders China and Pakistan, I think it is, it's like right in the middle of that continent, which for me was I was thrilled to work that guy. That was really cool.
Is that one of the former Soviet republics?
It might have been. I think it is. Yeah, I think it is. And I also worked actually Asiatic Russia, which I'd never worked either. So worked a couple of guys there. So so Secure Worldwide was fun. For me, like I said, I'm not looking to rack up points. I'll give multipliers out and work other stations, but I just kind of dig around and see like, hey, I don't think I have that on such and such band, so I'll work it. That kind of thing. So. So that's the ham radio activity, and of course, I'm sure some of you saw the video I put up that really caused quite the stir. And it was, it was just a, it was. Oh, there's my Tempo 1. There you go.
There it is.
And as I said in the video, it was I happened to see showed up my feed was this guy Josh Ham Shack TV. AA4WX, and he had put up a video with a very similar title. I said, "Oh, what's he talking about?" And I watched it, and a lot of things he said resonated. In fact, I put a comment on his thing. I said, "I'm thinking we have to shoot something along these lines," and so I did. And look, it was sort of a rant. It was just like, yeah, here's my observation, here's my experience, here's what I've seen, through the last umpteen years, and a lot of it I was preaching to myself because I was like, yeah, I'm just as guilty as charged. Am I hopping on my rig in the truck all the time? No. One guy had called me out for saying that I mentioned that I sit on my porch. I've got the HT out there, and I just, of course, I have it on in the background, right? And but a couple of weeks in a row, I heard this local net get on, and all everybody did was just sign in and out. I was like, well, what good is that? So. And the comment about I'd mentioned about there was a club whose website was dreadfully out of date. I happened, because I stopped looking at it, I happened to go back and look, and they did update it. So, which is good for them. What I found interesting was there were a handful of comments that were saying like, hey, you're all wrong, and that's not what it's about. And our friend Rob 741 channel, it reminded me like, hey, you're in Connecticut, and he rattled off like 5 or 6 clubs and repeaters and this and that. Rob, you're absolutely right, and I will go back and check that stuff out. So in fact, I had the radio on all day today listening to one of those repeaters and another local one here. So haven't heard anything on him, but I did have it on. But the real thing I was getting at with that rant was that it's really on all of us to really make sure we keep repeaters going, we keep clubs going, keep clubs inviting. And that's, if you look through the comments, you'll see a lot of people were really put off by some of the ham clubs that they had joined through the years. Looking for help with a license, looking for help with an exam, looking for help with what does a club do? And these guys said they go to these meetings, and these guys are just new people were kind of ignored. And I was like, man, okay, you get that in any kind of organization. I get all that too, but okay. So my rant was like, hey, ham clubs, ham radio guys, you got to be more active. HF is one thing, but let's face it, repeaters are the closer thing. So
clubs and repeaters.
Well, that's the local stuff, right? That's the stuff where if you're going to try to get people into the, I know that's not your thing, but if you're going to kind of get people into the hobby, that's a great way to do it. So that's how I got in. I was telling Tracy 1 billion years ago when my mom had given me, when I was in high school, one of those little multi-band radios, right? And the VHF section had like the aircraft part of it, and then it had like where the weather frequency was and taxi cabs, but right in between was 2 meters. And I latched on to a local repeater. I wasn't a ham yet. I was just a kid in high school. And I listened to these guys every night. I'd had that radio on, and I knew them. I'd hear their voice. I knew their call sign. I knew their name. I went to one guy's house. I just showed up with this radio in my hand. I said, hey, and he brought me in. He showed me his shack. He got on the air with it. Great, right? You don't hear that kind of traffic anymore. And it's, hey, like that got me into the hobby. So anyway, that was my rant. And that's all it was. It's an old gray-haired man that just ranted. That's all.
Beautiful thing.
And preached to myself at the same time. So,
but we could all be better, couldn't we? I mean, isn't that we could all be better.
Right.
And sometimes, I don't know it. I look at that sort of thing, Chris, and I love it because it stirs the pot. Once in a while, I've been guilty of publishing a video that stirs the pot. And you know what? It's a good thought exercise, right? It's good to do some analysis on things.
Right.
And one of the things that I've learned over the years doing YouTube, and my coming up on my 15th anniversary, by the way, holy mackerel.
Wow.
One of the things I've learned is that I learn more from the critical comments, the respectfully critical comments, than I do from the, hey, way to go, attaboy comments, right? Because then it kind of forces you to sit back and take another look and think, okay, did I think that through all the way? Do I have all the information to make that kind of determination? I love that video, Chris. You've done an excellent job. Hey, just before I forget, I want to just recognize that we have Kevin, Mr. QRP in the room. Hey, Kev, nice to have you with us. Thanks for joining, and hope your travels go well.
His club meets out in the cornfield, I think.
Wasn't there a movie about that, Children of the Corn or something?
A long time ago, yeah.
I just want to scroll down the comments here, see who else we've got in here. I'm hoping not to miss anybody tonight. Hey, we got Colin in VK. Colin, thanks for joining us, man. It's great to have you. All right.
Is that the Australian paratrooper symbol there, or what is that?
Oh, I'm going to go back. I'm going to come back to this fellow, but let's go back.
That is.
Yeah, what is that, Colin? You got to let us know in the chat, please. That's an excellent logo. That's pretty cool. All right. Who did I see here? Michael Mealy, Goose Bay. All right, Michael. Hey, listen, I hope winter hasn't quite set in for you guys yet. And if I know you gave a CQ Worldwide a shot, but the DX isn't always the greatest from there. So hope you had a good time. We were able to make some contacts. Okay. Chris, anything else you want to touch on before I swing it over to myself here?
No, that was it. The only thing I want to do is when Tim kept saying he was looking at Maine, I was like, Maine. Just realize that half the state of Maine is north of Toronto. Just keep that in mind.
Yeah, but but you're also coastal. You're coastal, so there's a maritime layer there.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, my wife's cousin lives up in Columbia Falls, Maine, which is on the coast, like 20 feet from Nova Scotia.
Maine is right across the border from New Brunswick.
Yeah.
There are parts of New Brunswick that get 12 feet of snow. I didn't just make that up. You want to be.
There's a mountain range though there in between some of that. So, but here's the other thing though. See, I'm not a singular entity here, okay? And I hate the fucking cold, and the snow can go hang, okay? But I'm
with you.
I know people, who think it's, it's snowing and Christmas carols.
No.
And hot eggnog. No, okay, no, fuck all that shit. I'm done. But I'm not.
Right.
I'm not an individual.
I'm gonna have to pay StreamYard for that little AI bot that does a beep every time one of my co-hosts comes out with some colorful language.
That's how I feel about snow. So make sure we prompt the AI for that.
I think I concur.
But I want to know. I want to know what started that, Chris. What possessed you to make that video? It
was well. First of all, I have said a lot of those comments when I was in the club down in Pennsylvania, which actually was it still is. It's actually a really good club. It's grown quite a bit actually. They've got like 50 or 60 members down there, I think now, and they're very active in POTA. I take a little credit for that because I trained them on how to do it. That's a club I might have mentioned that they when they have a VE program where they administer exams like once a month, and if you pass your exam for the first time with that club, they give you an HT.
Oh,
I think it's one of the ones from the country that Tracy doesn't subscribe to, but. By the way, Tracy,
everybody eats cornflakes, and they come in the box with those cornflakes, so you might as well give them to somebody.
Not a Yaesu VX6 or something?
No.
Like
but Tracy, I put a little disclaimer in there for you, and I mentioned our Chinese friends, and you notice the disclaimer I put in there?
Thank you.
That was for you.
Thank you.
But that club does really well. But we had a couple of the nets that I was on one of their nets. I used to check in there on Sunday nights all the time, and they we were talking about that, and one of the conversations was like the barrier to entry into ham radio, and we had a pretty spirited conversation about like this was before all the Zygo stuff really came on the scene, about how expensive it was to get into the hobby, and then we used to talk about like traffic on the repeater and getting more we talked about all this stuff. So when Josh did his video, and I was like, geez, I'm not the only one that thinks that way. So that's really what kind of prompted me to do it. And again, it was a rant. It was directed at myself like everybody else, right? What surprised me, well, first of all, what surprised me is how the video took off. But as I looked through the comments, there's a few that were kind of saying, hey, you're just being negative Nelly about it, that don't pay attention to that, all that stuff. Okay, fine. But the bulk of those comments, there's close to 300 of them now,
that's
focused on how badly people were treated in clubs. And how and dealing with sad hams and dealing with it just I'm amazed by it. A lot of it, people let their licenses go. And there was one guy that had the license like for 50 years and he gave it up. He says, I can't be bothered with it anymore. I was like, wow, okay, that's too bad, So yeah, that's kind of what made me do it. And I think the follow up to that will be, I mean, I've committed to, I'm going to sign into local repeaters, throw my call sign out a couple local repeaters and see what happens. And hey, look, if it proves me wrong, then I'll get on and say, folks, you know what? This is what you need to do. And it works. That kind of thing.
I love it. Yeah.
Now, Rich asked me, I see the comment, why did I leave Yardley? So Yardley, PA. So we're up here in Connecticut, mainly because I'm pastoring a church up here in beautiful downtown Collinsville, Connecticut, which is, if you blink, you've missed it. But it's that's why we're up here. My daughter and son-in-law and our grandson live in Wallingford, Connecticut, which is about 40 minutes from us where we are here. So that was another reason. It was easier to drive 40 minutes to see them than 4 hours from Yardley up to Connecticut. So that's the main. Those are the two main reasons we're up here. So if it were up to me, we'd be in much warmer environments.
Good stuff. Hey, I just want to throw out what I believe to be the best comment of the night so far, responding to Kevin from Iowa, setting up in the cornfield. They're out in the cornfield, but they can't ever ear anything.
Oh,
Rich, that is from a guy who loves dad jokes. That is grade A.
I'll send him a coupon.
All right, good stuff. Don't want to make sure. Oh, and I wanted to make sure I got the shout out to Aloha from warm Honolulu, Hawaii.
Oh,
KH6DC. He's rubbing it in. He's rubbing it in because he knows we got to put up with the winter.
He knows that. There's always that one.
To have you aboard anyway. All right, good stuff. Anything else, Chris, before we slide this thing along?
I'm good. I appreciate. Look, if there are any of my new subs that are watching tonight, thank you for joining my channel. And I don't normally do rants like that, so that's if you look through the other videos, you'll get a sense for what I do. So
I want to fight some more. Can we fight some more? I mean, there's a perspective. I mean, I don't know why anybody would want to join a club unless you are in a club.
Okay, so here's another one.
But, I mean, you get together Saturday mornings for breakfast, and that's why you're in a club.
So,
No.
Okay. Let's pursue this conversation because I think that's a valid topic to discuss while we're on this. And by the way, we're talking about the theme of tonight's show has not been forgotten. We're going to come around to that, but this is interesting stuff. I think to most of us. Tim, I want you just to expound a little bit more. Explain, okay, from your perspective, because we saw the look, the dirty look you gave earlier when Chris was talking about clubs. Give us your perspective. Why aren't clubs important?
Okay, flashback to 1970, and you're a new ham, and suddenly you've come across this hobby and you want to be a part of it. Where do you go for information, right? You can go to the library, you can go to books, but aha, here's a group of people who are already doing it. So that was the thing to go and learn, right? And become a ham and do all the ham stuff. Okay. There was a thing invented in the late 90s called the internet, though, that makes all of that obsolete. You don't need to do that anymore. And to have to leave the house and go somewhere and do all of this stuff with the demands that are on people, the demands that are on my time, if they're anything like that, no way. I'm not getting involved with that kind of thing. I'm going to put what I need on in the background and I'm going to soak the information up. I'm going to give it a try. If I fail, I'm not embarrassed. I don't have to show it to anybody. If I'm successful, then, that's its own reward. I don't need to. Why am I going to a club? They probably just want my money.
Well, they want their money. They want your money so they can support the repeater that they have up.
Ah, the repeater. Okay, well, 2 meters was never my thing, honestly.
Okay.
There's a repeater over here in Libertyville, and there's probably half a dozen other repeaters in the area. And I thought it was a neat experiment to put up the Moseley 2 meter beam and see if I could get across the lake with it. But after that, I'm going to rag chew on 2 meters. I don't. It didn't have a lot of emotional income for me, let's just say. I would much rather. The only thing 2 meters ever did for me was make me want to get on HF. That's it.
Well, here's the thing. Like guys that are in clubs, you will find that many of them are also HF. That they have a general or like guys like me to have the old antiquated advanced ticket or an extra ticket. So they use HF frequently and they're on. So, but the other thing with clubs is if a club is managed well, you'll have some really interesting, like we get guests on our live stream here. We've had the club down in Pensy, which I was really impressed with. They would bring in people to do presentations. We had Skywarn presentations that were excellent. We had like when the hotspot thing was coming on the scene.
That's awesome.
We had a guy come in and do that.
It's all very Mary Tyler Moore, and I love it. But if I want presentations and stuff like that, there's this channel called Outdoors on the Air that I can go to, and I can get all the great information that I need, which is exactly what I did way back in the day, and it was a lot easier than trying to chase people down on the club. In fact, I don't even know. There's a couple of clubs around here, but I think they're almost gone. The only one that I know of really that still does stuff is the Chicago FM Club, and that's more of a 6 meter thing. Right. I have no need.
Right. Well, hey, look, that's okay.
But I'm a different generation, right? So I'm a little older, Gen X, mostly. But some of the people that are coming up behind us, they don't. Nobody does that kind of thing anymore. It's kind of like dressing up to go ride on an airplane, or sending telegrams. I don't know. So I don't cry. It doesn't make me feel bad that the clubs are kind of going away. It's just everybody's doing other stuff now. It was necessary back in the day, but I don't. I have all the human interaction I need in my regular life.
When you took your exam, how did you take your exam?
I went to the place and took the exam.
The place.
Yeah, there's the Lake County Aries group that does it. So
Aries is kind of like a club.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. Aries is kind of like a club. That's different, though.
I get you.
And it's really it's carried. I mean, you look at the membership, and there's probably 50 people on the membership roll or whatever. It's really only 3 or 4 guys carrying the whole thing. Which
is something that Josh said in his video that I had quoted. It's the same 10 people doing whatever it is in every club. Now, and look, any volunteer organization, you got the 80-20 rule. So that's kind of normal, but my point though is there was a time when it was kind of necessary, and it's just not necessary anymore. Right. Well, what I found interesting too is I had kicked out the idea of there are a group of people that do have ham tickets that they're kind of unaccounted for, and that's like all the preppers. They got their ticket, before they really got hooked into GMRS, but they got their ticket and they got their Baofeng. And they kind of learn how to use it, and then they just stick it in a drawer until they need it. But it's like, Well, here's the deal. Like when you need it, you're going to forget how to program that radio.
That's true. That's just human nature, though. I'll
Right.
figure it out when I need to, kind of thing.
Right. But
And I'm glad you
there
brought that
was
up too, because back then, I mean, if you wanted to make a case for repeaters and 2 meters and stuff like that, I mean, with MeshNet and GMRS and FRS and all the other stuff now, I just, again, there's not a need. It's just not. In fact, I remember one time early in my ham career, and I was dialing around. I had a Yaesu AT350 or 350 AT. Do you remember that one? It was a 2 meter 440 radio with it was like the first one with the remote head that came off it. And I'm dialing around, and I picked up a repeater in Rockford, actually. Tells you something about my 2 meter beam. And you get on the repeater and somebody's talking, so I got on there, throw my call sign. Who's this? Get off our repeater. Okay.
Yeah. And that still happens today. Right. That still happens. Either that happens, or you can get on a repeater and there's nobody listening to it. So it's
Besides, we have our own little club right here.
We do.
Well, this is true, and you know what? You guys had me thinking while you were talking there, and I love the conversation. Why have a club? I mean, Chris, so you made the point, well, so we can have a repeater. But that's not a good enough reason.
No, it's not.
Anymore,
You're right.
Right?
But clubs do a lot more.
What is your club's mission statement?
Right.
What do you have a vision for this thing? Or are you just going to have coffee and donuts and the guys can come in and talk politics? And
I'll radio too when I need to,
And that's typically what they are. And again, that the state of clubs, and it sounds like I'm generalizing. I really don't want to do that because I don't really know, right? The experience of the club I had in Pennsylvania was excellent, right? It's a great club, and when I say great, because they've got a little bit of everything going on in that club. They've got the repeaters, they've got digital, they got a digital repeater set up that they have a net on, and it's a real net. They have their Sunday night nets on their 2 meter repeater are an actual technical roundtable discussion, which has been very interesting. And I think, and now they told me the last time they had the net, it was like, they were like 12 or 15 people on a net going around 3 times around the whole net. So it's very, very interesting. That's good to promote, to advance the hobby. They have the VE exams that they administer, right? They do good technical presentations. They do get into the community and do some, like support with the community. They do work with the Boy Scouts. So this is what clubs can do. But I think what's happening, look, I see this in the church too. It's like folks are getting older. They don't have the energy to do it anymore. So now you got to look at, okay, so if we get the next generation folks getting into the hobby, all right, then what is it that they like doing digital stuff? Okay, well, maybe you don't like digital, but guess what? If this guy wants to operate digital, learn how to do it so you can Elmer the guy a little bit, and maybe you can help the guy out if he's just getting on the air and he's interested in that, So I think clubs can definitely serve a purpose. And yes, it's not just about, hey, we have a repeater, right? Okay, I mean, repeaters can also be, very useful, for communications for whatever reasons, So. And it would be great if the repeaters are active. Years ago when I first got into the hobby, I was part of that club that those guys are in, and that repeater that I heard that got me into the hobby. I was in that club when I was a kid in high school, and that repeater was going all day long. And then when they would have a weekly net, and it was a club information net. So you heard when's the next meeting coming up, what hamfests are going on in the area, what's the league doing, all this stuff went out on a net. So it was good.
That's another thing I never understood.
If you're listening to this, would you please leave a comment? Let us know what would encourage you. If you're not a member of a club right now, is there anything that would encourage you to join a club or to potentially help found a club? Do you see a need for that out there? Please drop a comment. Be really interested to see anything you folks might have to say about this. I just want to give a couple of shout outs here. Gary from Eastern Ontario. Great to have you with us, Gary. Thanks for coming by. And WECB 640. I've forgotten your call. You've been with us before, but I don't recall. Please drop your call in
that's probably a GMRS call. That's what that looks like.
Good. Rob, our friend VE3PCP, came up with this, which I think is you know what? This is a pretty cool idea. A remote station is a better investment than a repeater. He might be right. Any thoughts, guys?
I don't mind. Remote stations are cool.
So you're a ham. You're condo bound. You're a victim of the HOAs. If you could utilize somebody's remote station,
sure, and they have them. I mean, there's a guy in Colorado who's got
wouldn't that be 10 times the value and interest to you?
No, it's expensive.
I
mean, it costs a lot of money, and I know there's a guy like in Colorado who's got like a 40-foot tower and a 40-meter beam on it. That you can rent for like $30 for 15 minutes or something like that. It's cool. It's cool, but it's still a little pricey.
Look at, look at. Well, I mean, repeaters can be pricey too, right?
No, well, I don't know. Really? Can they?
I think they can, because to Chris's point, a lot of money historically out of the local ham club here, a lot of the money has gone to repeater maintenance on the various bands. You got 6 meters, you got 220 and 70 centimeters. Rich's got an interesting point here. This live stream is free. What if you had a paid 3 Ham Amigos membership channel where everyone could speak or ask questions live and maybe teach something or present a topic? Yeah,
nobody would show. Like, why?
W1ECB, thank you.
Oh, so maybe that's not his GMRS call. Okay, I stand corrected.
Shane, so the club near him has a remote station. Okay.
So how about we do a poll? How many folks have used a repeater in the last month?
Yeah.
And actually made a contact on it, not just Kachuk.
I'm taking the under. What's the under? What's the over under? 5?
Yeah, I would agree with that.
How many people we got in the chat? Don't anybody do it yet?
Currently, we got 27.
Okay, so yeah, I bet the over under. I put the over under at 6. I'd still take the under.
All right. I'm going to slide this conversation along now. Let's do a little bit of.
Well, all I want to say before we move on is that
go ahead.
That you put out that video, and that's what you get, Mister.
Hey, look, that's fine. I mean, it got a conversation started, didn't it? Imagine if we were on a repeater, we could have had this conversation. So here's another. Right. Here's one I want to throw out there. I think for my next one, I might do just for laughs is CW requirement. Bring it back or not?
Oh, here we go. Clickbait, Chris.
A lot of the comments said when the CW requirement went away, ham radio went down the tubes.
I think there should be a digital requirement. I think you should be required to, demonstrate the ability to, manage digital modes before you get a license.
Now see that same 6 members show up, and that's it. That's what happens to clubs. Yep, that's what happens. Unfortunately, that's what happens. Yes.
I think you should be. I think there should be a YouTube video watching requirement before you get a license too. You need to consume 10 hours of YouTube ham radio stuff before they let you in the door.
So if you've got a club, let's face it, social clubs aren't what they used to be. Tim, you've made that point very eloquently. If you've got a club and only 6 people are showing up and that number is dropping, you haven't thought it through.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. If your end game is to grow the membership and to grow the hobby, you've got to bring more to the table. You've got to have a mission statement, and you've got to hold to it, and you've got to be willing to adapt it as time goes on, because you're failing in that situation, right? And it could be, and let's be perfect. I got a buddy, VE3OZR. He owns a radio, but it's a really cheap, really old radio that he never uses. For 3 years, he volunteered to be the president of the local ham club. We're going back to the 90s now. He did his service and then some. But he's all about the social aspect of ham radio.
There's
He
people
would
like
come
that.
out to field day, not to operate the radios, but just to hang out with people and
there's
chat.
nothing wrong with that. That's great.
That is a subset of our hobby.
Correct.
That is not the big. And if we zoom out on the hobby, who is interested in ham radio? It's techie types.
Right.
What do we know about techie types?
They're nerds
not
and they're very
always the
introverted.
warm and fuzzy
Right.
social animals, right?
Right. Right.
They might be a little curmudgeonly, like our friend from Illinois, and they're happy with keeping that distance, and I think that's fantastic. Oh, they got the arms crossed. Why? What makes you think I was talking about you anyway?
I'm a delightful social human being. I am.
Yes, you
Right.
are.
Just ask them.
Exactly. All right,
Should have seen
guys,
me,
can we?
should have seen me at the antique show, you know? Ooh, look at the lovely table.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, listen, Rich, this is kind of like a club for me. I have a brand spanking new FTM 500D. How very cool. Powered up one time a few days after I bought it. Rich, I've been there, man. Like, I have had my finger over that mouse button, click to buy over that hot new VHF, UHF dual band rig. And then I stop and think, who am I going to talk to? There's nobody up there. There's the repeaters are ghost repeaters. They're talking to themselves with their IDs. Why would I drop that kind of money to buy something like that I know I'm not going to use? Because if I'm sitting in my car and I'm listening to dead air, I'm listening to a podcast. I am not going to be listening to 2 meter, 70 centimeter repeaters identifying themselves. I get where you're coming from on that. And this is interesting too, because I live in the Greater Toronto area here in Canada. This is Canada's most populous region. There are 6 million people in this area, right? And of that, of course, many of them are not hams, but there's a pretty good ham community. But even they're not up to keeping the repeaters busy and active all the time.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys, can we slide off this topic? I know it's been fun, and Chris, congrats on the video, but I sort of want to make sure we cover some other stuff too. All right, I want to take a look. So here's I got a question for some of you guys out there. We had Ray from ICOM on several months ago. By the way, John from Yesu has been ghosting me. I'm just putting it out there. John, I'm still hunting you. I'm going to get you one day. But Ray from ICOM came on, and you told me initially yes, but you're probably a busy guy. All right.
What if we got somebody from Zygu?
Who's that?
We'll get somebody from Radiodity.
Yeah, Radiodity. They might get somebody on from there.
Yeah.
Okay, as I was saying, we're going to go back to my trip up
He's
north.
a hater.
No. I'm not canceling. I'm just not inviting them to the table.
You're a hater.
All right. Let's take a look here, guys. By the way, so way up north, Puckasaw National Park, northeast corner of Lake Superior. Do you see that green box off in the side?
I do.
For those of you that have never camped up north, you may not know what that green box is. Anybody have any idea?
Is that like a safety chamber or something?
Food
Keep
locker?
going.
Is that where you run when the bears come and get you?
You could. You could.
Yeah.
I never thought. And it's actually big enough.
Yeah.
I don't know that Chris could get in, but Tim could probably fit in there.
Certainly.
Yeah, I wouldn't go in that. No, I wouldn't get me in there.
I'd be comfortable, in fact.
And Rob, V3PCP, exactly correct. That's where you put your food. When you're way up there, you cannot leave it in the shelter. The bears will come in for it. You've got to lock it away, and that, by the way, includes things like deodorant.
Is it
any kind of scented stuff, toothpaste?
Is it refrigerated?
So,
how does that work?
What's that?
Is it refrigerated? How does that work?
No, it's just a big metal container. And it's got you see where the silver things are? There's 2 doors.
Yeah.
You slide your hand up and
It's
pull
not.
on a metal tab inside.
I thought there was a coin slot.
No. But a bear, of course, doesn't have hands, so he can't get in that.
I
So
see.
raccoons do.
You put your cooler in there? Is that what?
Yeah,
There's room for a
absolutely.
cooler?
There's a big Yeti cooler inside there and a
Okay.
bunch of other stuff. Anyway, that was just a side note for those of you that have never been to the North Woods. Don't know what you have to deal with. When
Actually, I thought it was like originally when I watched the video, I thought it was like a transformer or something.
That's
Yeah,
what I thought.
no, you would,
That's what I
wouldn't you?
thought, yep.
Okay, so what I wanted to talk about here, here's a shot from the video. This is a chameleon antenna. This is
Yeah, I noticed that.
yeah. So, and I don't want you to disconnect him. It's like I did
I'm
use
gonna have beef with you too here in a minute.
Man.
yeah, okay. So so this is a chameleon 90 foot. This is a precursor to their MCOM 3P. It's 90 feet long. And believe me when I tell you, it was all I could do to find room to put this up in what was a very compact site. And it's up in an inverted V configuration.
It's a big V.
And I struggled to make contacts. I really struggled. Signals were down, 4 or 5 S units were the strongest signals on the band. And the band was open. Now, I don't know. We were out of cell range. It's out there. So I couldn't tell what the space weather was doing, what the propagation was like. But I was having a heck of a time. Now, when you get that far north in Ontario, there is this geological feature known as the Canadian Shield.
I've heard of
the
that.
Canadian Shield is a massive rock. When I say massive rock, I mean it extends for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of miles.
Yeah, isn't it like an inverted dome too, that it got hit by a meteor however many millions of years ago?
Not really, because the ground actually elevates throughout the Canadian Shield, and I believe it extends into Wisconsin, potentially that upper peninsula of Michigan as well. But what happens is there's no soil. Or there's very little soil. Clearly, there's some because there's trees there.
It's all down here now.
The soil is not deep. Go ahead.
It's all down here.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. So basically, you're setting up your station, your antenna, over rock, and you can see how closely the trees are spaced here. I mean, this is dense forest. It's been my experience in the past that, if you do research into antennas, foliage makes a big difference at VHF and UHF frequencies. Mm-hmm. Not quite so much at HF, although there may be some impact there. But given the density of the trees and the fact that I was snaking this wire between, there was no open spot to speak of. It took some doing to get the antenna up in that orientation. And it is an NFED. I was not running a counterpoise. Instead, I used an N9 SAB choke on the coaxial feed line. And it was tough making contacts. So one of the things there's a couple things going through my mind. Okay, it could have been propagation. It could have just been the conditions. And we all know that, and this was early October. We all know that it was kind of a crappy summer from a propagation perspective overall. There were some highlights, but for the most part, it was a pretty crappy summer. I'm curious because I have run portable operations now from multiple places in Northern Ontario where the Canadian Shield is a thing, and struggled to make HF contacts with low inverted V-type antennas. And now I find myself thinking, well, okay, yeah, absolutely propagation, but I'm hearing stations that are very weak talking to each other, and I don't know, right? I don't know what their signal levels are like. I'm running POTA, trying to close a bunch of contacts up there. I was life and death to get to the POTA minimum. And now I'm starting to wonder about that Canadian shield
Mm.
and the effect it might have on an antenna. And I just thought I'd throw that out there for the group. I don't have any conclusive evidence one way or the other. One thing I do know, as you get farther north, if you've ever taken a look at maximum usable frequency, take a look at what today's maximum usable frequency, the forecast is.
Mm-hmm.
What you're going to notice is that as you get towards the tropics, the maximum usable frequency increases. And as you go farther north, it decreases.
Mm-hmm.
So for example, if we take the US as an example, generally speaking, you're going to have better success on 20 meters if you're in Texas than you are in Minnesota.
Yes, agreed.
Right? Just due to the maximum usable frequency and the way it works with regard to latitude.
Mm-hmm.
So that's another factor that could be going on here.
I think you're on to both of them. This past summer, we were camping at this one campground here that the site we had was kind of like it was sloped and it had a step in it, right? So I just strung up an antenna as a sloper, right? And but quite a bit of that antenna was because of the nature of the site, and it was all ledge, the whole site. I struggled to make 2 contacts, and that took like an hour. And I said, "No, I'd forget this. This is not working." So I would agree that like if the ground is really dense with granite and stone and rock, it's probably going to be harder, I would think. And the other thing with the latitude stuff, I have a friend of mine that's lives in Florida, and he's already got his, he restarted his whole like DXCC thing not long ago, and he's already up to like 8-band DXCC. He's got like 100 countries on 8 bands, right? Because he's in Florida, and I really believe it's because technically that part of the planet is closer to the sun than we are up here, so. It's going to have a different impact on propagation, I think, down there. I could be all wrong with that, but that's just like my unscientific observation of it. So,
interesting.
Another reason to move south there, Tim.
Yeah. So I looked up the ground conductivity map for your area there, and it looks like it's got really bad ground conductivity, like a 2 and a 1.
So maybe that's a thing then, huh?
I'm almost I'm like a 20. So
mm-hmm.
I wonder if you wouldn't be better served with like inverted V configuration or something like that.
That's what he did.
Well, this was an
no, I'm sorry, like an inverted L rather with a vertical component.
Yeah.
Maybe vertical.
I think vertical. Yeah. I think vertical is the answer, Tim.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Unfortunately, I took a Subaru Outback up and it was jammed. And I couldn't bring my PVC pole mount. I didn't have room even for the pole, so I had to flow. We realized how much.
If you had an end fed that had links in it or something, and let's say you wanted to work 20 meters, you could easily just take the 20 meter section and set it up as a vertical.
Yeah, that's true.
Or a dipole. You could have run a vertical dipole like that too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we've got some good comments coming in here.
You chose to go with chameleon, so.
No, because you know what, I wanted to test it. Oh, and so you're gonna like this, Tim. You're gonna hang in there, pal.
I'm saying.
So I struggled to make contacts. I mentioned that in the video, and who responded to my who left a comment in my video? Chameleon.
Did they?
And you know what they said? Well, that was a pre-release antenna. The successor was much better antenna.
Okay.
And it's like, okay, all right, good to know.
I'm just teasing. They make good stuff. It's not.
They do make good stuff. It's well made, but I found it really interesting.
I think if you had an Aether wave,
okay,
it's
not our best effort.
If you had the Aether wave equivalent, I think you would have worked 15 countries.
Are you kidding? He'd be in the Ham Hall of Fame.
That's right.
Absolutely right, guys.
He could have rented it out like Rob does,
Yeah, here we go. KC8 OPV. Hey, thanks for joining us. Maybe a vertical with elevated tune radials. I agree 100%. That would have
probably do
been
it.
the antenna there.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so vertical with elevated tuned radio sounds like that that POTA performer people like, which I'm sure is a great antenna. It's just you're getting into the fiddly, gotta construct a thing, lose a wing nut in the dirt kind of stuff there. And
Oh,
yeah,
oh no. Yeah, I haven't seen that one.
yeah.
Like what I'm thinking of is using my my pole mount with like my 40-foot spider beam, running a wire up, and I want to talk more about that, and I want to get your take on this, Tim, in a few minutes here. We'll get there, I promise. That's something I want to pick your brain on, because I think there's a wintertime project coming for me. Hey, take a look here.
Go back to the rock salt on the roads adding 3 dB, and then
Yeah, rock salt on the roads. You're going mobile, and
you guys salt your roads up there?
Hell yeah.
Do you? I don't
Oh
know.
yeah, our cars don't last long at all. The bodies take a
Yeah.
beating as a result of that.
Some places
But I'll
don't
tell you
use.
what, the moose like it.
Oh yeah, I'll bet.
Yeah.
I'll bet. You can take a little container of like calcium chloride with you though, and you defrost and put
Oh,
your
yeah, I
put
like
your
that. Like that.
shower poison there.
V3 PCP is teasing an upcoming video on my channel. It's all ready to roll, Rob. I'm gonna have to send you a preview link for that.
That's
Hey,
a
let's take a
tactical
look
vertical
here.
though, so it's
Oh, it is.
it's classified.
Yeah. There's more to come on that video. A chameleon used promo code Canadian Shield to get 60. Mike, that's gold. That is gold. Okay.
Yep.
Jimmy Kim, you should have. There we go.
Uh-huh.
See, that's what I would. Maybe they would have said. Maybe you want to look at an Aether wave. Yeah.
All right, let's go. Let's move this along. I want to share something else with you here. So
I'm sorry, 90 feet long that thing was? Why?
I don't know. No idea.
Is there something special
All right.
about 90 feet or I mean that's not a halfway of anything, right? It's not a random wire length that I know of.
Yeah. Okay. So the thumbnail and the title for this stream is Winter Radio Prep. And I wanted to sort of talk a little bit. Now, of course, this channel's focus primarily, and we're outdoorsy, but even though we're outdoorsy, we still have home shacks. And I wanted to sort of take a crack at both, both home and portable in the winter. Now, I know my buddy Chris, he's out like a light whenever we start talking about outdoors in the winter.
Forget it. I'm out.
Him, on the other hand, can't wait to bust out of that base. Oh, never mind. So I guess it's just
You'd
me.
be surprised. You'd be happy. It's just not for too long. Okay, look, there's cold. Okay, there's cold and there's cold. All right. So
and hold it. And there's Tracy brushing the snow off of a park bench to operate one time. I saw that video and I said, this guy's out of his mind.
20 degrees, 25 degrees where it's wintertime. You go, you can, enjoy the seasonal holiday weather. And then there's 20 below with a 30-mile-an-hour wind. Okay, I'm out there. Forget it. No.
Okay. All right. You don't mind my co-hosts. They're a little soft, but let's talk a little bit about cold weather.
Have you ever had frostbite?
No, because I know how to dress for the cold weather.
I've had frostbite.
Well, it seems to me like you could have watched a few Les Stroud Survivor Man episodes. Cotton Kills.
I'm just saying.
Wow.
I might look soft.
No, I've not had that misfortune. Okay, moving right along. Because this is not the Frostbite channel. Take a look. I want you. The reason I'm showing this frame here is because I'm showing my Gazelle gazebo. Now I'm glad Mike N2MAK is with us, because this Gazelle gazebo shelter, which is in the background here, this is what they call a pop-up. So it's really it's got, this one particular one has 5 walls. It's got covers that go over the side to protect against rain and wind. And this worked very well for me at CQ Worldwide with Mr. Buddy, Big Buddy heater,
Yeah,
Mr. Heater,
that heater is
Mr.
great.
Heater.
Yep,
in
that's
there.
a great heater. Yep,
Worked fantastically
Yep.
that weekend. I wasn't toasty, but it was very very comfortable in there. I could take my big coat off. If you're in a place which, and you know, it's funny, we got Winter Field Day coming up, right? Winter Field Day is coming up in late January. Now, last Winter Field Day, I don't think we had snow here. I could use this shelter for Winter Field Day. I wouldn't want to use it if there's snow on the ground.
Right, because there's no floor.
Now, Mike, I mentioned Mike N2MAK because Mike had a video up. I don't know, Mike, if it was last year or the year before. And you used one of those ice fishing pop-ups. And that always struck me as being a fantastic winter option. And so we got a couple of comments here. All right. Rich saying, I've been looking at the Eskimo brand. So the Eskimo brand is the winter. It's the ice fishing type. Yeah, you're right, Rich. It is the ice fishing type. What I liked about the Gazelle here is that it's not ice fishing. You see, you don't want to be using one of those ice fishing types, which are really airtight, and they have to be to survive cold temperatures and keep the heat in when you're out there and it's 0 degrees Fahrenheit or below. You don't want to be using one of those at field day. You don't want to be using one of those even in the shoulder seasons. It's just going to probably be too hot in there if the daytime temperatures are above freezing. So it was with the knowledge of those in mind that I ended up buying this gazebo, knowing that it was a 3-season shelter. And by the way, one of the beautiful things about this shelter is that literally it goes up. Now, if you go on and you see people raising them, you're going to see people putting these things up in 60 seconds to 90 seconds. That's not my experience, guys. My real world experience is that setup, the way you see it right there, probably took me 20, 25 minutes. All right. But I'm a little bit more careful. I don't want to break my stuff. And I'm probably not the fastest guy in the world. But having said that, that went up in half the time that my regular sleeping tent goes up in, which is close to an hour actually, before I even get to move stuff in. So, and there's a lot more to it. Setting up a proper tent with the frame. A nice thing about this particular shelter here, and by the way, the gazebo guys don't sponsor me. I bought this thing. They don't know I exist. But I want to tell you that, I've always had this concern. I get to where I'm going to be setting up and it's pouring rain. What the heck do I do? If I've got my sleeping tent and it's going to take me half an hour to 45 minutes to set that thing up and it's pouring rain, by the time I'm finished setting it up, I'm soaking wet, and the inside of my tent is soaking wet.
I know what I'd do.
Turn around and go
home. That's it. Call it a trip.
Car, man.
No. That's not the spirit. We overcome, we endure, we adapt. Okay. Whereas something like this, you can put it up in that 15 to 20 minute range, and it's not soaking inside. Right? Because it's got a solid top to it. Now, I would tell you with this tent, by all means, throw a tarp over top. They'll take another few minutes, put a tarp over top, just stake it down on the ends. And now it's going to be completely waterproof because these things are not completely waterproof. Okay. Well, that's what I wanted to say.
What's the fabric? Is it like a mesh then, or is it just
It's like a Dernier polyester. I don't know if I'm spelling Denier polyester. It's
Dernier
waterproof.
Sure?
What's that?
What's a Dernier polyester? I dare you.
It's the type of material that they make good quality tents out of. Like they're rated in millimeters, and if you can imagine spreading the fabric out taut, and then taking a vial and pouring water into the vial, which is open at the bottom, and then they pour it to a certain depth before the water starts going through. That is the measurement they use to determine the water tightness of the material and the relative strength of the material.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is information that you would never get at a club.
That's
That's
nice.
True.
Nice. And by the way, Tracy, the way we say it here in this country is denier.
Denier? Probably. It's one of those things.
I just love the way dernier.
He has to get that little. He has to get that little French, denier.
I'm probably mistaking it with my wife's favorite leather coat store. I don't even remember what they're called, but anyway. All right. So winter field day. If you the way I saw Mike do it. Yeah, thanks, Mike. I think you're probably bang on there.
Yeah. Stick up for him, Mike. Come on.
He's a good guy. I like Mike.
I still like denier because it just sounds so bad.
All right. So if you're thinking about winter field day and it's just going to be beastly outside, one of those ice fishing shelters, and you'd be surprised, you can buy them at Bass Pro probably for a couple $100. Let's just see what Mike has to say about this. The ice huts have stronger walls and some have better insulation. Not sure what brand I have for that. My summer one is by Clam and has mesh walls, but I have panels I can add to the sides. Yeah, that's the whole idea with those. The panels that you see on mine here, these are add-ons. Like they attach via Velcro and via hooks on the corners, and they block the wind. So you take those off. There's screen for fresh air. I was actually able to use during CQ Worldwide during the day when it warmed up a little bit. I was actually able to peel off the top half of those, keep the rest of it in place, just so that I had a bit of a window to the outside, get a little bit extra fresh air in there. The ice fishing shelters, I don't think have that. I think that some of them have windows that open, and some of them even have like a plexi window. But they're not really suitable for warm weather use. Okay, my point simply was shelters. Listen, if you can get yourself a shelter like that, and you can get yourself one of these Mr. Heater Big Buddies, you're going to be comfortable, and you're going to want to be out there. And you know what? You're not going to have a lot of parents at the park giving you a hard time about your antenna or anything else, because they're going to be at home staying warm. Right. So there's that. You haven't got the guy rolling up in the near vicinity with an RV and all kinds of electrical equipment, and he's going to fire something up, and all of a sudden your noise level is going to jump to S9 because you're going to have the park to yourself. So these are things to consider. Oh, and of course, in the middle of winter, propagation is usually pretty darn good. The lower bands are excellent because there's not as much atmospheric noise. You haven't got the thunderstorms. So this, if you're thinking about whether it's POTA or whether it's something like Winter Field Day, start thinking about stuff like this. I'd love to see some comments from people who are thinking about Winter Field Day or winter operations here. Hey, we got somebody, Ham Shack Down. Hey, and you know what? So I am really pleased to have Clayton join us. Ham Shack Down. Good evening from southeast Wisconsin. Okay. All right, let's just take a look here and see who else we've got on the chat. All right. Hey, it's Kim. Kim from California. Great to have you with us, Kim. Hope you're doing well.
Hope you like the ice fishing tutorial.
Yeah, I don't think Kim's going to be doing a lot of that.
No, I don't think so. Good for her.
Look at that. Tim, that's all the encouragement you need right there.
What?
Snow cover is excellent for 160-meter propagation.
Ground waves. I'll be able to talk to Ham Shack Down.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. So there we go. Now, something else I wanted to just quickly address while we're on this is let's see if I can do this without. No, I can't. Okay, never mind. Guys, so Chris, Tim, you guys do not operate out of doors in the wintertime.
In the winter, correct.
No, that's
all right.
Okay.
Well,
you know what?
all right.
I don't mind. I don't mind a little cold weather. I'll go out if I have the time. If I have a hankering to do so, whatever. I'm not nearly as big a whiny bitch as I portray on TV. So
no, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have done that to you.
No, it's okay.
Wintertime.
I enjoy the contention. Contention is what we're all about here.
So here we are. We're in late fall. Guys, as you know, we've all got home ham shacks.
That's right.
Do you guys have any projects that you're thinking about before the cold weather hits, before we're socked in, and then the home ham shack takes on a greater emphasis?
I certainly do. I've been talking about it for years. I have all the parts. I'm going to work on my Tempo 1. I want to replace the electrolytic caps, certainly in a power supply, and I want to convert the power supply from a 2-prong power cable, non-polarized, to a 3-prong grounded cable. Replace the tubes in it. So that's been a project I've wanted to do for a while. So this year I'm going to commit to doing that. Also, you talk about like all the gear we use in this, and when I use it in the fair weather, I'm going to go through that whole pack that I have and just make sure the batteries are. I want to build a battery charging station for them. I want to just double check all the cable inventory, make sure I have enough, rather than getting caught, and make sure the adapters and everything is all up to snuff. So I'll be spending some time going through that kit over the winter. So yeah, nothing to go to waste.
Good stuff. What about you, Tim? You got something you're going to work on this winter?
Yeah, I've got probably a couple new antennas that I want to do. Then I've got the 160 meter sloper that I've got set up. I got the line out to the tree and brought it back to the deck. So some 160 in the wintertime. Probably one of my best ham radio experiences that I've ever had was like the winter of like 2016 or something like that. And JT65 had just come out, and I had my 160 meter antenna, and at night, like 9-10 o'clock at night, it gets dark around 5, right?
Yeah.
Right around 9 or 10 o'clock at night, though, I had my iPad connected to the shack downstairs, so I could sit in front of the fireplace and enjoy my brandy and work J65 all over the place through my iPad, which was really cool. I'd like to do that again, hopefully.
Nice.
Hopefully. But I've also got like I picked up that that BJ4U2 or whatever it was, the radio, that the little box. Anyway, so I have my toolkit, my mobile power station. So I 3D printed a frame for that, and was going to put. It's hot. The thing runs hot when you're doing any kind of digital work, even CW. So I bought a couple of CPU fans that I was going to build into the back of that frame.
Oh, okay.
And run that off of that. So I've got that I'm going to do too. And I might get a new radio. I'm thinking about a new radio.
Okay, do tell.
Well, I'm still. It takes forever for me to make decisions like this, as you know, right?
Okay, but I want to know what's under consideration.
I kind of want an 891.
Really?
Well, see, my wife has a Rubicon Jeep, and it's older, and she doesn't drive it anymore. She just drives mine. So, what I want to do is take that thing and then convert it into like a little mobile command vehicle, with a bunch of antennas and stuff like that on there. You put a hustler whip on it, 20-meter hustler whip, and a couple other things. It's got the hitch and everything on it, so I can do the poles if I want to do poles and things like that. So I want to take the hard top off, put the soft top back on, get it decked out, and then just have it be my radio recon vehicle. I can go anywhere in that thing. I mean, you can climb rocks with it if you want. So
man,
it's cool, and it's only got 90,000 miles on it, right?
Jeez,
so I'm thinking of just taking that over,
that sounds like a lot of fun.
taking it by force.
Man, I'd love to see you get an 891. I think that would be really interesting to
And
see.
then I would do some 2-meter stuff because I've still got the 350 AT in the Saab with like a what is it, an elk or something, the mag mounts on there. And when I was driving that around, I would just tune into like the local police frequencies and see if I could catch where the speed traps are and stuff like that. But the roads around here, that's not really something I want to drive around a whole lot in. Plus, I have to do some work to it too, and I'm just too damn lazy. So the Jeep sounds like the better option. So I might take that out and put that in the Jeep too. So that's 2 radios and at least 2 antennas in the Jeep. So we'll see. Well, now whether that's a wintertime project, I don't really know, but certainly accumulating all the stuff is.
All right, good stuff. Give me a sec here.
160-meter sloper. So I want to, get on 160, digital CW, maybe some voice. I don't know. I just hope there are people there when I get there, because there usually aren't.
Is that right? Digital mode's not big on 160?
No, it's not that digital modes aren't that big on 160. There's usually someone down there, but it's just not 20 meters.
Yeah.
It's not even 80 meters, really.
Well, how long is that antenna, Tim?
Oh, the sloper?
Yeah.
It's got a coil on the back and probably 60 feet of wire. Really? And it's like the minimum thing for 160, right? I mean, if you got the city lot and city thing, you want to work 160, you guys 160 Jones, and you got to do it. That's really the only solution out there for it,
Yeah.
I've never made a contact on 160.
I worked all states. I think I worked all states on 160.
I've never had an antenna for it. So
yeah, well, Hawaii and Alaska were a bitch, of course, right? But I think that was like 2 a.m. in the middle of January, some kind of thing.
Well, that's prime Tim time.
Yeah, well, yeah, you had to work for it. It wasn't easy. And I was out there in the middle of winter, turning the thing and, unhooking it here, moving it over there, and, have it running north, south, east, west, all kinds of stuff to do that. That was
good for you, man. Hey, that's cool.
So I got frostbite.
That's how you got frostbite, moving your antennas.
No, but
but he worked Alaska. That's all that matters.
That's right.
Alaska 160. How many people go that?
Now you guys know as well as I do. It's the old ham radio adage. The colder, more miserable day that you set up your antenna, the better it's going to work. It's a truism.
And wintertime, deep dark wintertime, especially here. And it's nice because I'm in the middle of the country, so I can hit both coasts, kind of, So it's worth the effort for me. It is. I want to do it again.
Cool. I love the idea of sitting there with your iPad and working. That's pretty cool.
And JT65 was such a wonderful mode at the time too, because it was kind of musical,
So these modes, like they come and go like the weather, don't they? Like if I wanted to take up Olivia right now, am I going to make any contacts?
That might be hard. It might be tough.
You got to keep up. You got to keep moving.
Well, there's a lot of reasons why FT8 became so popular. It's quick. I just don't like it anymore. When it first came out, it was fine. I played with it. Yeah. It was cool. I like FT4 better, but then I like JT8 better than JT65. So, go figure. But Free DV has come out now too. So I want to start messing with that. So there's this guy, right, in Orange County somewhere, or LA or whatever, K6 Egg or something like that. You ever see his videos?
I'm not sure I have.
He's like a Twitch streamer, right? So the Twitch streamers will play their video games, and he'll work the radio on his live stream. People watch it. Yeah, Greg. Thank you, Mike. I've tuned in and just like, okay, cool.
So Free DV, can you enlighten the non-digital guy over
here? Digital speech.
Okay.
So you have a software program, you key your mic and you breaker 19. And
so we could do this on our ICOM gears.
Yeah,
if
so
we had,
you convert that to a digital signal, and now you've got all those wonderful digital properties, right? Low power, low. It comes back, and the signal to noise ratio is like nothing, right? So it's like
Right.
super clear, super bright speech, no hash, no noise, no nothing.
So similar to D-Star.
I've never used D-Star, don't know.
Okay, all right. Because you can use an ICOM D-Star radio on HF, can't you?
I believe you can. I have a 7100. I've never used D-Star with it, but yeah.
Anyway, it's free DV, right?
But you have to have a computer hooked up.
You have to have a computer. You have
Yeah.
to have a computer, and the software is free. And I've downloaded it. I've got it installed, and I haven't taken the super plunge with it yet.
Okay.
And there seems to be people down there. I don't know. The chat probably would have something to say, I would think.
Yeah.
Free DV. Go check it out. Maybe there's a fella I know might actually get into something like that as an introduction to digital modes.
Chris. Yeah, Chris is.
Doesn't. So that and they might learn CW too. Who knows?
Yeah.
It's a big hobby, man. It's a big hobby.
Oh, it is a big hobby.
It is.
Okay. Let's mosey along here. I want to show you my mosey. It's a technical term. I want to show you my what I want to do before the snow gets here to stay. We've already had that dump, but so this is something that I keep treading that fine line. I'm afraid my friend Tim is just going to hang up and walk away in disgust. This is my.
You get that at Home Depot or something? What is that?
So what I've got here. Oh,
okay.
Let's not do that.
Okay.
What I've got here is an outlet box, an outdoor outlet box.
Okay.
With 4 receptacles. Okay. And what I did is I reached out. This was several years ago, Tim. Please don't be upset with me for mistaking.
Yeah, okay. Whatever. It's cool.
Ballon Designs sells this product here. It is a 4-to-1 Ballon. And I asked him, I said, here's what I want to do. Because the backstory to this one is that I met a guy who told me about years ago, his club set up a field day antenna using extension cords as a ground plane.
Okay.
Well, I heard that and I had to try it. This has been, I've had the parts sitting down here for a couple of years. I finally got around to putting it together, but I reached out to Bob at Ballon Designs because he's got a pretty good reputation for making a quality ballon. I said, Bob, this is what I'm trying to do. Which of your products would you recommend for this? Given that one of these, see that one I've got outlined in Sharpie here, that's going to be the vertical. That's going straight up a mast.
Mm-hmm.
And the other 3 are going to be laid along the ground as ground radios. Very simple ground plane, right? So he recommended this 4132 model, which is a 2 kilowatt model. And so anyways, I bought it and I plugged it all together and got it going. And I actually made a few contacts with it. Hey, I'm not going to sit here and they were, what did I have? I think they were 25-foot extension cords, the outdoor extension cords. And I just wired them all together inside that box. One conductor from each of them, with the exception of that one up here, which is isolated. And then the other 3 here were tied together for the ground radios. Made a few contacts. It was fun. It was a fun experiment. I'm sure it could be improved. But what I want to do now is I want to, not use the outdoor receptacle box, but just use this Ballon right here. And I want to take my 50-foot DX wire mast. I want to strap it to one corner of the chain link fence in my backyard, run a wire straight up that mast, tape it up all the way, put one end into the Ballon. The other end I want to basically just attach to the top bar on the chain link fence as a counterpoise, if you will, and see what happens. Now, according to Ballon Designs, they actually have a sheet, a spec sheet that he issues with these and guidelines for using them. With a 43-foot wire and a counterpoise of indeterminate length, I should be able to get a 2.2 to 1 SWR using his Ballon across 80 meters through to 10 meters. Now, I don't know if it's going to work very well, but I just think that would be a really fun thing to try. As you may know, Tim, I've got a Fleep right now, an end fed, which is coax goes straight up to the top of my 30-foot tower, and then the wire runs out to the ravine from the feed point, and it does a circuitous motion. It goes horizontal probably for about 80 feet and then slopes down for the remainder down to about maybe a 15-foot height at the far end. But I think it would be fun to do some A/B back and forth.
Sure.
To see how, number one, find out, okay, is this actually going to work?
What's that? What's the Ballon in the box again?
It is a 4-to-1.
4-to-1?
Yeah.
So that's along the lines of your elevated vertical radial.
Yeah.
Thing. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So now I'm sitting here and I'm sort of, what I really want to do, of course, is I've got this investment in this Ballon and I want to use it, and it's incredibly ruggedized. Now it's not N9 SAB ruggedized. You can see the size of this thing. I mean, it's massive.
Well, it's 2 kilowatts, right? So it's got
it is 2 kilowatts. Yeah. And and I'll never run power through it, right? But he recommends the higher rated ones just in case you do run into those high SWR scenarios. It's not going to damage what's inside it. But now I'm sitting here, I'm thinking, okay, I want to do this project, and I will, and I'll make a video about it. But I'm thinking about my buddy Tim as I'm doing all this, and I'm thinking to myself, why doesn't Tim sell a kit for doing stuff like this, where he could sell a Ballon and a length of his cool wire with that nice little end on it? I think that would be a very interesting project for people.
Yeah,
now you can
kids have kids have
give me an idea. Give me some idea. But how do you think this is going to work? And do you think that would be an interesting offering from Aether Wave Antennas?
I think you should have fun with it. I think you should go for it. And yeah, it'll work. How well? I mean, I don't know. I can't predict that, but there's nothing in principle that says that this isn't going to fly. The guy to ask would be Philip, though.
Yeah. Well, he's not around.
He's out eating dinner.
Rob's telling me to just do it, and that's exactly what I'm going to do.
Yeah, just
why not? Why not? You won't know until you try it.
Yeah. So I think that's good. It's been a while since I've done a home-oriented antenna project. So
I think that's cool.
I'm going to have fun with that one.
But I don't. But with kits, it's not. I thought about it. It's occurred to me to do something in kit form. But it's just as much work for me to assemble kits as it is to assemble antennas, and then I wouldn't be able to sell them for as much. And besides, I think the Coffee and Ham Radio guys got the kit thing covered. So,
do they?
Yeah.
Okay. Guys, I want to. So we've talked a bit about projects, winter projects, and outdoor operating in the winter. I want to switch gears a little bit here and share some other stuff that I've come across. I thought this was really interesting. Don't know if anybody else saw this. Let me just close that. So you see that good little boy right there?
Oh, poor little dog.
He
jeez.
Yeah. This is a firefighter's dog.
Was he okay?
The dog's fine.
All right, good.
But keep your lithium ion batteries away from your dogs. And that's actually a really interesting thing to talk about. how do you store your batteries, guys? Are they safely set someplace where where they're, let's put it this way, where they're relatively unlikely to suffer an issue which could cause them to combust?
Well, I don't have a dog normally.
Okay.
So there's one. And two, I keep my stuff in like a cool, dry area. So I've got everything. I've got a storeroom down in the basement, and it's humidity controlled. So okay. So what causes those batteries to? Twitter is full of those pictures of batteries that look like pillows.
Oh yeah.
Somebody,
I had a Yaesu battery, one of my HT batteries, the FT70. It actually swelled up like a marshmallow.
right,
After, I don't know, 6 or 7 years.
and that's caused by.
I think it, as far as I know, overcharging. And this one had been charged many times, run right down, and I think that might have been my problem. Is that I just kept running it down and reach. It's my
'Cause they're only good for
bedside
certain
radio,
cycles, right?
Hmm?
They're only good for X amount of cycles.
Well, yeah, you're
And
right.
the FT70 is notorious for, if you just leave it not on the charger, you just like leave it off the charger, it just it's doing its own little housekeeping in the background, kills the battery. So when you need the radio, it's dead.
Yeah. No. I keep mine when I've got an FT70 in a bag, in a carry bag here, and the batteries are beside it. They're not. They're not.
Yeah, you can't have it on there. Yeah, it'll just die. Yep. Apple had
Yeah.
that issue with the MacBooks back in the early like 2010s. I had a 2011 or 2012 MacBook Pro, and after a while, the touchpad in the center of it didn't work, and you couldn't like click. You use the like a right click or a left click on a mouse. It wouldn't work, and it turned out the battery was underneath that, and they would swell. Same thing happened with the early Apple Watches. The batteries would swell up, and it would push the screen out of it. Yeah.
Yuck.
See if I
Yeah.
can-
So be careful with those things.
Yeah,
There's a new
absolutely.
chemistry. There's a new battery chemistry coming out too soon, I think. Right? Isn't there a sodium
Yeah, that's right.
ion, whatever? Probably less prone to that kind of thing.
Well, let's hope so, right? Because some of those, you look up some of the videos on exploding batteries and these lithium iron phosphates. It's, man, they can once they catch, it's really something.
Yeah,
Guys, I want to show you something here. I had this fellow reach out to me. His name is Clayton. Excuse me. He's just launched a company, and I want to throw this invite out there to anybody that might be watching this. Hey, if you've got a ham radio related product, and you want me to profile it, just reach out. I'm happy to help the community. I'm not asking anything for it. Clayton had this. Let me just get rid of that. So he's producing a line of specialty pouches for ham radio. And he's actually going to send me a few of these just so that I can see what I think and give him some feedback. He's planning a line of other things as well, including radio frames and pack systems. So keep an eye on Clayton, and it's called Shadow Circuits. So just a quick heads up on Shadow Circuits. Just a young guy starting a ham, who's starting up a company, and I don't know anything about him. I haven't seen these hands on, but as I mentioned, if you guys if you know of somebody out there who's looking for just a little bit of exposure, reach out and we'll give them a little bit of love.
Yeah, it sounds like he's not too far from me. That was the guy from southeastern Wisconsin, right?
Well, I don't know. I'm not sure that it is. It might be, but I think I called that fellow Clayton thinking it was the same guy. But now I don't know if it is the same guy or not, and I'm sorry if it's not. What else we got here? Tim, you sent me a couple of things, and I want to. Yeah, I want to show you. I want to show these.
My club roster.
Well, let's start off with a little bit of Walt.
No.
No, I saw that.
That's awesome.
Well, tell me what you thought. I haven't had a chance to see the video.
I'm all for it.
Okay, well, can we define fix the 11-meter band? And
Watch
by the
the
way,
video. Yeah, you'd have to watch the video.
11-meter band.
He's talking about folding it in with the ham crew, and ham people shouldn't be so divisive about the 11-meter band and getting all the free banders and CBers and stuff together. And I had no problems with it at all. It was a great idea.
Well, I don't understand.
Mars Module Radio, get on 11 meters.
What do you mean folding it in? There's
a wattage requirement there, right? I think it's like 5 watts or something like that.
Right.
Yep. He's talking about making it, with the top of the solar cycle, making it, people can use 100 watts and then do.
Well, they do anyway.
Really?
So
he wants to give them. He wants to make them legitimate, I guess, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Well, look, here's the thing: the FCC doesn't police it. They don't look at anything with CB radio. You could, and there are many CB ops. To Tim's point, we'll get a ham rig. They'll do the Mars mod on it, and then you operate it on CB. So there is no the idea of of being limited to 5 watts. They don't do that anymore.
Okay, all right. But I don't. I'm still confused. It's like, why?
You gotta watch the video. You gotta watch the video.
I guess I have to. It's
kind of along the lines of ham radio is dying. What are we gonna do?
Really?
Yeah.
Well, who would say something like that?
It's a controversial clickbaity kind of thing. See, he's got 18,000 views on this video down there.
Right? I know he's doing better than I am. That's for sure.
Well, because he's sticking his neck out there and saying stuff.
What are you saying?
Well, watch the fucking video, man.
Well, I mean,
2 weeks ago. I don't remember everything. I just remember, that sounds like a good idea. I remember retweeting it too.
But I wanted you to sort of chime in because we haven't seen it. So let me put it to you this way. First glance, without having heard any of it, I mean, it's 100 watts now. It's not channelized now. What's going to change?
No, it is channelized.
What's that got to do with ham radio?
No, CB is channelized.
Nothing to do with ham radio.
CB's channelized.
CB's channelized, and those power limits.
Guys, there's the law, and then there's the real world.
Right.
Okay.
Who pays attention to the channels? Not the hardcore 11-meter guys.
No, they do. They will put in that they'll dial it to the frequency of the channel.
That's where the traffic is.
That's where
people are going to be.
Guys are going up and down. They're using ham radios. They might go onto a channel, but nobody's stopping them from going top to bottom of the band and probably going a little bit south and a little bit north of the band.
Listen, I'm a libertarian at heart, so if they want to do that,
well, that's just pirate radio.
It harms no one that I know of.
Okay.
But since they're doing it anyway, let's just make a part of the program here, so they don't have to live out in the cold. They're not stuck in an ice fishing shack somewhere.
Well, they seem to like it. They like what they're doing. They don't need us.
It's got a romantic appeal to it, sure.
Okay, but they're doing fine, I guess is what I'm thinking.
Okay.
Aren't they?
Maybe Walt.
Are they hard done by? We just finished saying that the FCC isn't policing them. Okay. So if that's the case, they've got their little fiefdom and they're doing their thing in it. What needs to be fixed? I don't know, guys. Like this is a serious question. Maybe we need to have Walt back on.
Click play. Let's watch a few seconds of it and see what the fella has to say.
I've been away for quite a while. I've got some ideas, something I think that really needs to be done, and that would fix things. So if you're a CBer, hear me out. 11-meter guy, hear me out. Free bander, hear me out. If you're a ham, listen to me. This is like, I want to talk some common sense and some things I think that'll benefit all of us who either use the 11-meter band or should be using the 11-meter band. I mean, it is a band. If you're a ham, the 11-meter band is a band that's in between two ham bands, the 10-meter and the 12-meter band. It's HF radio. And it's been a dumpster fire for a long time, and I think it's time that we straighten it out. And I'll talk about this with some common sense and my thoughts. And I think I'm a pretty good person to talk about it.
Guys, you know what? I think this is going to require a little bit more. I don't want to play the whole video here. We're running short on time.
We could hold this for a topic for next time. Could certainly do a lot more homework.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm in favor of inviting Walt back on, and we'll do.
You think he'll talk to us now?
Get his take on it.
Will he still talk to us?
Oh, he gave me a big hug at Dayton, so maybe he will.
Well, that's not quite the same thing.
All right. Hey, I want to get to this. Rich just sent this across. I'd like to make a request before we're done. Can we all say a prayer for a fellow ham,
Yes.
Jim Heath, W6LG, who has been struggling over the last couple of years? His latest short video wasn't too encouraging.
It's very sad. Yep. His video was I'm about to be an SK.
Yeah, that was I retweeted that one too. Yeah, which is I'll say a prayer for him, sure. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Seems like a nice fella.
Okay. Mike, sorry. What Walt is proposing, opening the 11-meter band could provide more opportunity for people to have fun on 11-meter and avoid the jack wagons. Might also get those on 11 meters interested in getting their license. Okay.
Maybe.
Listen. Okay. I'm all for that kind of thing. I am also for, there are people who are going to buck the system no matter what the system does.
But the attraction for folks that they go on CB is there's no exam, there's no license, no nothing. And hey, if I got 800, 900, $1,000, I can buy an ICOM or a Yaesu and I can modify it. And guess what? I can do everything a ham radio operator does without having to take an exam and not pay for a license.
You're a rebel. Congratulations. All right. Okay.
That's it. That's really what it is. And listen, I if you listen around,
here's a hot take. Here's a hot take, right? So there's this place where people go because they want to be free, right? And here we come, the do-gooder hams, and we're going to fix this. We're going to fix this place. We're going to clean it up, and we're going to make it.
I think that was my point.
Yeah,
I don't think they want it. I don't think they really want it.
They don't care.
They don't care.
Where will they go? I think is the question. If we
that's a good question.
Clean it up. Where are they gonna go?
Some of them enjoy like now that the sunspot cycle the way it is. I'm in a couple of CB groups on Facebook, and I see a lot of them talking about like, hey, I worked Australia. Hey, I worked England. Hey, I worked for them. Now it's like when 10 meters opens, 11 meters is open. It's the same thing, right?
Yeah.
And they even on a regular CB rig with 12 watts of sideband, you can get across if the conditions are right. You got a decent antenna. You can work some DX with it.
Why not?
But it's all crammed into like channel 38 for the most part on lower sideband. So you've got all these people trying to make contact. It's mayhem trying to listen to people make contacts there.
I think Walt's a defense contractor too, right?
No, he might be.
I think so.
Sorry, is there a link there?
Well, I'm just he's a quasi-fed, and it's in a Fed's nature to go in and regulate something.
That's true.
Okay, guys, I think it's time. We had a good chat here, and really appreciate the support from everybody in the chat. Tim, give us some closing thoughts on us tonight before we put a bow on it.
Oh no, you made my head hurt now.
Sorry, man.
Closing thoughts?
Yeah.
Go join a club.
There you go.
Just get it over with. Go join a club.
Go join a club. Use a repeater.
Yeah, use a repeater. Join a club. And stay off 11 meters.
No. 11 meters has its place.
Learn CW. Take a test.
Do
all those things. Buy a chameleon while you're at it.
Oh man! Wow, man.
Oh man. Okay, Chris.
Well, actually, if any of my new subs were on tonight, thank you so much. And yeah, I'll see if I can stir it up again.
We're this obnoxious every month. Try to be. I thought it was a lot of fun. It was a real treat, right? Because we had been talking about With streams coming up and we got some ideas. We want to talk about this. We want to talk about that. And then just, 2 days before, here comes Chris with his
And I didn't plan this.
clubs and repeaters.
I was not planned.
Clubs and repeaters, damn it. Get your kids.
That's a beautiful thing. Okay. I think that's it, guys. Thank you very much. Thanks to everybody who's tuned in. We appreciate your coming here every month. We appreciate it. Hey, listen, if you have any questions or thoughts about who you'd like to see on our stream going forward, thoughts about topics of discussion, other things, please leave a comment or add it on to the video that gets posted afterward. Sure would love to see all that stuff because we're always looking for fresh ideas. But appreciate your passion. The energy that you impart to us is tremendous, and I hope everybody, all of my American friends, have a nice Thanksgiving.
Yeah, nice.
Guys?
Now Tracy won't say this, but I will. So go to those channels up top there and like and subscribe. Damn it.
Yeah, that would be nice too.
Please.
Yes.
Okay. Good night, all. We'll see you in
Later.
December.
Oh, invite Natalie Glamham. Yeah, we should do that. I like her.
Natalie Glam. Okay, I got some research to do.
She's a nut. Yeah, she's great.